Hi, how are ya? My name's Beta, and today I'm going to be talking about how I just got back from a 2-week long vacation. And believe it or not, this is the first time I've taken a vacation in over 3 years. And it's not just because it was a physical, away from this room and computer setup vacation, but also because I was finally able to mentally disconnect from doing anything as a content creator, whether it's YouTube videos, streaming, thumbnails, merchandise, whatever it was. But in all seriousness, this is my first update video I've done ever on this channel. I hate doing update videos because I feel like it takes away from the magic, so to say, even though I'm one to break that a lot. I feel like this is absolutely necessary. It's been a long time since I've really talked about me, not in the narcissistic sense, but just talking about what I'm feeling and where I want to take things as a content creator. And believe it or not, the vacation I had recently did give me the opportunity to reflect where I really needed to. For those that don't know, in early September, I ended up visiting a bunch of friends in Seattle for a nice little friend meetup called SawCon. Like, I didn't realize how long it had been and how much I had missed them. I got to eat some amazing food. Like, we went to a place called Szechuan, which served salt and pepper shrimp, and that hands down had to have been the best thing I have put in my mouth ever. Oh my god, I loved it. We went twice. It was that good. I got to travel around downtown Seattle, went to Pike Place, Cap Hill, got some really good coffee, and I was so relaxed after that whole weekend, I took a bubble bath and used a bath bomb. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't taken a bath in years, let alone used a bath bomb. And let me tell you, that shit's life-changing. I didn't take any pictures of that for obvious reasons, but as you can tell, it was great. The week after, my boyfriend came back and visited me, and we pretty much just hung out the whole time. I was thinking, okay, maybe is a good point for me to get back into YouTube and Twitch streaming again and get out of this vacation mode. But realistically, like, I didn't do that. I just kept spending as much time as I could with my boyfriend till he had to go back home. And let me tell you, that was the best decision I have made since taking this break. Because little fun fact about me, I take a lot from my father, who is very much a workaholic. He gets very antsy and anxious when he takes too much time away from work. He can't really sit still. I don't know if it's just an ADHD thing, but I'm very much the same way as him, where even though I might be miles away from my work desk, from doing YouTube videos, I'm still not mentally checked out of being a content creator. Like, I'll still be thinking of other video ideas, jotting them down, or like checking the video's analytics, or writing a script for a video in free time when friends are like asleep. And I'm gonna be honest, it really doesn't feel like a vacation when I'm doing that. But after I had uploaded that video on F, I thought to myself, while we were hanging out in the Airbnb, everyone was chilling, and I thought, you know what, this would be a good opportunity for me to get a thumbnail done for a future video or get things set up for an upload when I get back. But as I was getting out my laptop, I stopped and thought for a second and decided just, no, let's not do that. And so I put the laptop away and joined my friends for an adventure in downtown Seattle. I got to fursuit around with them a lot. I got to spend time with friends I haven't seen in so long. I got to meet new friends and actually try to be a sociable human being, which is pretty hard for me when I sit here and do this every day. And so I come home, I get unpacked, my boyfriend's visiting me for a week, and I'm like, all right, let's get back to the grind. But I'm also thinking, like, wait a minute, he's here for like a week, and I'm not gonna get to see him till January. So I said, fuck it, and didn't upload. I didn't stream, and I just spent time with him. And you know what it was? It was pretty much the same thing. We watched the entirety of Love, Death, Robots. I loved it. I'm a fan of Lovecraftian horror, so it was amazing. We had Olive Garden too. That was pretty great. And with the time that I had off, I wasn't just goofing off and doing whatever. I took this time to sort of reflect and refine my feelings of just what I'm looking for with what I do on here, and to sort of pinpoint some of my concerns and worries and anxieties and insecurities with being a content creator on here. Because I'm going to be entirely honest, the first 6 months of this year have been a nightmare for me. In the first 4 months of this year, I lost half of my friends. Like, I'm not even joking here. My friend group got Thanos snapped. And I'm not going to go into detail over it because that's dirty laundry. You don't do that. But a lot of the reasons why were a mix of just not getting along, friends moving on, but a lot of it was actually out of my control. And I haven't really had the time to reflect on that till now, which I guess this brings me on to my personal anxieties and insecurities that I've had with being, well, me. The one big thing that I've realized about myself recently is that I care way too much about what people think about me. And not in the clout chaser, attention seeky sense of like, ooh woo, am I cute on twitter.com. More so of what I mean is that I care too much about what people in my immediate life think about me. And I've realized that I've done this for a while now, where I will bend to the whims of others to make others happy just so that they like me. Example, back when I was in private Catholic elementary school, I had a friend named Alex. This is not anyone that you know or anyone who's shown up on this channel, but back when I was in this school, it was very small. And unfortunately, it was in an area where a lot of privileged people were, and they flaunted that, like a lot. And their behavior was really shitty. I wasn't someone that grew up extremely privileged. If anything, I put more of my personality out there, not what my parents had or not what my parents bought me. But in that school system, it was very much that way. But the one kid who would talk to me was named Alex. But him and I became friends through video games and Pokemon and so on and so forth. Eventually, I started to realize he was a drama mongerer, and he would start shit with me for no reason. Or he would let me down in situations where we had promised to do something. But he would turn it into where I'm the one with the issue for no reason, and I would have to apologize. Example from this. We would make plans to meet up and hang out or do something after school, and he just wouldn't even show up. And we'd confirm this with one another that we would meet up via text message, via our parents, via school, but he just wouldn't show up, and I'd be reasonably upset about it. And I would communicate this with him later on, being like, hey, you know, I wish you had shown up, or I wish you had told me you didn't want to. And he'd go on to say something like, oh, well, if it's too much problem, then I guess we shouldn't be friends then. And then we go and not talk for like a day or so, and I'd be upset, and then I'd go and apologize for absolutely nothing. It's like, why am I apologizing? Well, because I wanted to make him happy and I wanted him to like me, because he was the only person that would talk to me at that school. And so I had to give up a lot of my own personal hubris, even as like a child, to keep people in my life, even if they weren't healthy for me. And I've done this all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, and pretty much the beginning of the furry fandom when I started getting into that. So pretty much a good decade and a half of my life. And in the past couple of years, this has mutated into a very unhealthy style of living, even with friends who are very genuine and very close to me, who really want the best for me. I'd have this fear of just one fuck up happening and I would lose them. And this has happened with so many friends over the years, whether they've come and gone or they've been my best friends even to this day. And in the past year or so, I've started to realize this sort of tendency that I've had where I'm like, okay, you know, if friends like me, they're gonna like me for me. And I shouldn't, you know, shape my personality around what they want me to be. And I should be what I want to be. And if they like me, they'll still keep me in their life. If they don't, that's their loss. And you know, even though I've been working to better myself with this, the feelings are still there. And this doesn't just apply to friends, but it also applies to what I do on here. Because believe it or not, even though my content has changed significantly in the past 3 years, I still put my heart and soul into everything I do. I understand that not everyone will like what I do, but I will not lie when I say that it does hurt a little bit. It hurts when some people really only wanted me for my fursuit or the content that I made before. And you've heard me talk about this in videos in the past where, you know, some folks were just really strictly for ooh cute furry content. And I just didn't want to fulfill that role that I once was years ago. And so I had a lot of backlash from that. And I know I shouldn't care about that. But in all honesty, it does bother me. You know, assumptions that I'm lazy or I don't care about the content that I do, or especially that I'm not having fun with it. But still, that's one of the biggest anxieties that I've had. And that's why I feel genuinely like I'm not cut out to be a content creator, even though I've been doing it for 3 years and it's semi-successful just in an objective sense. I don't feel like I personally am cut out for it. And none of what I'm saying is supposed to be like, feel bad for me or guilt trip any of you. It's more so just like, here's what I've been thinking for the past few years. But what I'm hoping to achieve with this is to kind of show you guys a part of me that I don't really talk about often. I do try to be a content creator that reads feedback and reads what people are talking about in my videos and what I do. Not because I crave it, but because genuinely feedback is necessary to do things better. So with that in mind, it got the gears turning on thinking what it is that I want to do and who it is that I want to be. And even though I'm still figuring that out, all throughout this entire channel's history has pretty much been me trying to figure that out. If content gets boring, I'll just shift things a different direction. That's just how it's gonna go. I know I'm rambling a lot, but let me just say that if I could be a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, a content creator for the rest of my life, I would do that. Not because it's a lazy option compared to, you know, being an engineer, but because I genuinely have passion for this. Just because I need a break or need to change things up in terms of the content that I'm putting out there doesn't mean that I don't love it. The one thing that I have been trying to change recently is I want to be a content creator that happens to be a furry. I want things to be furry adjacent rather than furry based. I think I've talked about this a couple of times before, but for the longest time I've been known as the furry info guy, and that's cool. I'm glad that you enjoy that, and you can still go and watch those videos, but I don't want that to be the only thing that there is to me. I'm a lot more than just furry information. And I don't know if you know this, but my first ever non-furry video popped the fuck off recently. You know the video that I did on F, or the alphabet lore? I had to talk about why people were turning the letter F into a Tumblr sexy man. And even though that video had no core value that had to do with furries, it did amazing. The one thing the video showed me was that I can break out of the niche that I was put into. So from here on out, I'm gonna try more wacky, weird stuff like that, not just related to furry. You know, the furry fandom is always going to be a big part of my life. I have a lot of friends that are in it. I've got like 2 fursuits. I love participating in the community. I love going to conventions. It genuinely is like my bread and butter. I don't see that changing anytime soon. But my YouTube content doesn't revolve around just that. I've got a bunch of videos scripted and lined up right now that don't just have to do with furries and furry memes. I mean, granted, those still will be coming because, you know, they are fun to do and community interaction stuff is nice. The one thing I could ever ask for you guys in this case is if you ever see a video from me in the future that has nothing to do with furries, you know, there's no furry in the title, there's no fursuit or even character stills in the thumbnail, still give it a watch and let me know what you think of it. I do mean that any feedback that I can get on what I do is greatly appreciated. Which, speaking of the whole community thing, one of the things that I feel like I'm genuinely missing from what I do is like a core community. So what I did is I turned my Patreon and Twitch sub Discord into a public BetaEtaDelota Discord server. Some of you might already have seen this, but yeah, I have a public Discord server. And the reason why I haven't done it sooner is just I haven't had the time up until now to do this. You know, I've been busy trying to figure my life out, and I finally have some free time, so I've been putting that time into putting together a Discord server. I've been getting some mods and admins together, and I finally have some bots set up, so I have a public Discord server now. So if you're looking to be part of this community, feel free to join the Discord linked in the description below. Also, one of my goals for either the end of the year or next year is to become a Discord partner, so that would be kind of cool. One of the other things that I want to do is get back into live streaming again and dedicate to it. So what I'm going to be doing from here on out is dedicating specific days to live streaming. So instead of my live streams being sporadic throughout the weekdays, I've decided that my new schedule is going to be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when we will be live streaming. We usually hang out, vibe, talk about some funny stuff on the internet, go over some furry memes, and most of the time we play video games. So if you want to join me for that, I'd greatly appreciate that. And this is on Twitch, by the way. I haven't figured out if I want to move to like YouTube streaming or not. We'll figure that out later. But I will be seriously dedicating myself to this new streaming schedule, and if I have to cut back on hours or days to stream, I'll let you guys know. And of course, there's no obligation with any of this, but any support that I can get is greatly appreciated. And for one final thing that I wanted to promote, I've been somewhat inspired by Quite recently. Fun fact, we used to talk every so often like 5 years ago, and then I rediscovered his channel again, and he's actually really funny. I don't agree with all the jokes that he makes, but I still really enjoy his content. And I see what he's been doing with his 2 YouTube channels, Quite and Quote, where his main channel is just his going over memes and pre-recorded stuff, while his secondary channel is for like games he plays on his streams on Twitch. So with that inspiration in mind, I'm looking to separate things a little bit with what I do. Remember that old YouTube Shorts channel I did called Beta Shorts? Well, I decided to nuke those videos and turn it into a gaming highlights channel. So instead of trying to push out random games that I play from Twitch onto this main channel, I'm going to try and separate it and put it on that Beta Shorts channel. The name of the channel right now is called Boodles. I don't really know what to call it or what a good name for it would be. Oh wait, the name of the channel is BetaEta Live. So instead of Delota, you just put live. There'll still be Twitch highlights based on talks and memes and conversations that we have here, but that channel is strictly for gaming and highlights because in all honesty, I love playing games. I think the most fun that I've had in videos is when I have friends on with me and we just shoot the shit while playing some random nonsensical game. And it's hilarious. Even if the video doesn't perform well, it's amazing. So what I'm trying to do is separate things a little bit and kind of grow into a different niche that isn't just furry. You know, even though the channel has my Sona and the icon and furry written all over it, it's still supposed to be a fresh start going into gaming. And I know that gaming is oversaturated on YouTube, but fuck it, I might as well have fun. So that channel for now is is going to serve the purpose of going over the highlights and pretty much the edited down funny playthroughs that I have when I'm going through games on Twitch. Right now, the only thing there is my highlights from the Dead by Daylight anniversary event from this year, and the next thing I'll be uploading are my highlights from my Cult of the Lamb playthrough on Twitch. So if you could show any love on that channel, I'd greatly appreciate that. Besides that, I really don't have much else to talk about. I kind of aired a lot of my own anxieties of what I do on the internet to all of you, and I just want to say that to those that I might have projected to a little too much in previous videos, and even in this video, I'm sorry, but I appreciate you still listening and still being here. I really am living like the dream that I've wanted to live for a while now. I've always wanted to do YouTube ever since I've been in high school. It's the one thing that I've really been passionate about that's really driven me. So all the support that I've gotten from you guys, really, it does mean the world. Things are definitely getting better for me this year. I'm enjoying my time with friends a bit more. I'm separating work and life, and I'm finding the enjoyment that I have in YouTube and streaming again. So if you enjoy what I've been doing, trust me when I say that a lot more good is to come. And I'm really excited about it. I started scripting videos again. Not fully like what I did before, but like notes, kind of like this one. It's just like a page of notes, but I managed to talk for like an hour and a half. Holy fuck. But it's just because I like doing that. So in all honesty, thank you all for everything so far. We're nearly at 200,000 subs, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. And I hope you guys are excited for what I have planned as well. Besides that, I've got nothing else. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day. And as always, stay life jacket. Take care.